So hi everybody and welcome back to the Unreal Engine 5 full game tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 6 and in this video we talk fast about the editor controls here a little bit and to make a short prototype. What the prototype is just that my character should walk here to ramp up, jump to this platform, jump here, and then try to come to this platform and so on. And let's get started. First of all, how we start a game. Here on top you press this one, then you can start a game, then the mouse disappears, shift escape to get back, because this one is normally the stop button, but we go in game. And then we have here on top the selector. This just selects this one is also the second one. There are arrows, then you can move an object. Then the third one, there are curves. Now you can rotate out an object, and the last one you can see there are squares. Now you can scale this and all this kind of stuff. When you click on the details panel, there is this tab transform. You can change it with numbers too to more be precise. You can see when I change the scale, then the scale part is changing with the numbers in the direction which you selected. Then we go on. Here we have snapping. Snapping means, let's go here, you have again selected this one, and then this one is for the snapping for the selector, and then you can say exactly how many units you want to go in this direction. For example, you can see now it jumps this unit which you set, and this happens for the other ones too. You can snap here the rotation and the scale with this one as well. And if you want not snap again, just click again and it's gone. The last one is here the camera movement, which means first of all how we move. Right click, you can watch around and hold the mouse button. Then hold the mouse button again with the right click and then WASD. Then you can fly around with the camera. It's the camera view here. And now you can see, you can change here the speed with that. And the last one is just split screen. You have more screens to work with. Let's say they are all the perspective. Here you can change this and then say this one should point here, this should point here, and so on. And if you want choose one of the screens, again on the right in the corner you click this one and it goes up. Then we have here this strange symbol. Let's click this one again. There is the symbol when you are here in this mode. It says here global. Global means just, you can see on the right corner here there are directions again, and these directions are the Unreal Engine world directions. That means here global here, and you can see now the object here has the same directions, so you can calculate it based on this one. But when you click on this one here, these are local directions. You should not use this one too much, because now it says how much this object is rotated towards this one, because I had now it points out this way, which means I have already rotated this object here, because the normal rotation would be this one when the object was imported to Unreal Engine. Okay, that's that. Let's go on. Then we can fly around. There is another thing what we have to know. When you click an object, press F key, it zooms to the object. That's very handy, because you want, if you accidentally click the sky here and press F, you're out of the sky, and now it's very hard to come back most time. And there is a trick. You can just click here on the outliner any object and press F, and it jumps to this object. That's very nice. So the outliner here, by the way, is just a representation of all objects which you see here in the scene, just in text form. There are more options which we will talk later. Then we have here also the details panel, which I just showed you before. The details panel has here informations as well, but the most part here is just the top. Then here the static mesh and the material. If you click here something, here are many other things, but most of them you can ignore. That's the nice part. Only you need them only in special cases, and then this will be pointed out. So the most part is here on top. Then we have this world settings. This one is by default not here, because you have to go here to the world window, because these are all the windows. For example, the outliner details, you can find it here, outliner details, and the world settings you have manually to set up here. And the reason why we will use that is because there is just this part here. It says here game mode, and when you click on this one, it goes up. This part is more or less the organization template for Unreal, because they are the most important classes here. And but we don't need this right now. And let's go on a little bit here. What we have here, I think this side we have covered. We go here to the left side. Here are just options, which you can set and tweak like you want. Then we have this perspective, where the perspective and lid is that what you right now see here in front. When you click on top, for example, now you see the same map from top, but in wireframe. You can see this one is not lid. Lid is that what we all times see normally, but it changed to wireframe. And the reason for that is most time you want move a object and then align this, and with this wireframes you see the lines better. But when you go back, this is this word again, press F and so on. And then we have here show are just options, so the editor is showing all things. The interesting would be later for collision, perhaps when you want to see collisions. If you have an object has a collision, for example, you can see here these lines now that indicates there are collisions now, but most time this is not activated because we don't need all-time collisions, and there are other things as well. You can check this one, and this one is just scalability. Set it to low, not low, medium, so that you don't need very high settings here, so that it's not lagging during gameplay, during development, I mean. And then, of course, if you have a good graphic card, you can set it higher. And then we can start the prototype. So my prototype is, I want that the character goes here up and here, so on. How we make this? First of all, we select this one, I press F, I zoom in, then I say, oh, I have to rotate. I press here the shortcuts instead of clicking all time here. You can see there, when you hover your mouse over this, there are shortcuts. Then let's rotate this, then I press again W, I move this now, and then it looks very bad. Let's rotate this, but I see it bad now. So what I have to do, I go to perspective, to top. Now I see it better. Here with the scroll wheel, you can go front and back to zoom it in. Now I see it better. Now I can press here also the selectors. So I press here rotate, so thing. And if I want to make this super accurate, I could go now here to this numbers, but now I keep this one here and say that's okay. Here I click on this one, I go back. Now I have another problem, this is too high, so again I change the perspective. Let's go to the front perhaps. Yes, front is very nice. Right click or zoom back, or right click to move it here around, and say now I have just to scale it. Okay, let's scale it a little bit down. Again, if you want make it too perfect, you go here to the numbers or scroll in and so, but now I skip this part and say that will work. Save that. Let's change here again the perspective, and then let's test it. And instead of when I press play, you can see I start all time here. I don't want that. So there is a better way. And first of all, why we start here? Because here is a player start. You can change the player start here and test it there. But you can also just fly first here. First of all, Control 1 makes a bookmark. This means it saves this place. When I go accidentally anywhere and press now 1, it jumps to the right place where I am. And then you can just right click, and on the bottom it says play from here. And now I can test it very smoothly all time here. Now I'm here, and then I press just 1, I jump to the right place. But the problem is now, okay, I have to go here. So let's make here also a bookmark. I fly to this position, Control 2 for this place perhaps, and then I can play from here and so on and jump. It's not working. Okay, I have to select this one. Let's move this a little bit. I press now 1, I would be here, but I want not start here. Let's start here, and then okay. And you can see when you know this a little bit, and we have almost finished this prototype if I'm able to jump. And I think that was it for this little demonstration. I mean, we will talk a little bit later more about here this editors and the project settings, but this in the next video. So, and if you have any questions like all time, write in the comment section. See you in the next video. Bye and good luck.